A tool that I would suggest all keen cyclists own is this. It's a chain checker. It's inexpensive, can save you lots of money and stop your gears from skipping and jumping. I'm going to explain why and also how to use it. Before I continue, if you find our maintenance tips like this useful, then please subscribe if you haven't already, as we know that not all of you do subscribe, and it's through your continued support and increased support that we're able to improve the quality of the videos that we're able to provide to you for free. So that'd be much appreciated. Now, onto the chain checker. Well, I've got a couple here actually. This is the CC4 and this is the CC2 chain checker. Both of these are made by Park Tool. And when your chain is worn, it can cause your gears to skip and jump so that they don't work as well, and it will accelerate the wear on other components such as the cassette and chain rings. Now, the chain rings and cassette are far more expensive to replace than a chain, so it makes far more economic sense to keep on top of your chain wear, measure it periodically, and then replace your chain so that you don't have to replace the more expensive parts. You can measure your chain wear easily with a chain checker tool, but you have to do this correctly. Most people look at these simple devices and think they know how to use them and they just slap them on, but they actually do it in a wrong way that doesn't accurately measure the chain wear. So pay attention because I'm going to show you how to do it properly. But first, explain what chain wear actually is. So when we say a chain is 0.5% worn, what we actually mean is that the chain is 0.5% longer than when it was new. How does that work? Well, I'll show you. I've disassembled a chain here into its different components. So you have the rollers, the inner links, outer links, and the pins. Now, as these parts roll and move against each other, as the chain moves around your bike, they wear against each other and wear away slightly. And this creates slight gaps. And in these slight gaps, that allows the chain to be pulled longer. And therefore, we call it stretch, but it's not actually stretching. It's just the chain is effectively longer because it's developed play. So I'm first going to show you how to use the CC4. This is my favorite chain checking tool. It's inexpensive and it's really good because it's a CNC laser cut piece of stainless steel, which means that it just has really high tolerances and it's easy to achieve high tolerances on a piece of flat stainless steel, and so it can be really accurate. But it's a very simple tool as well with no moving parts. So what you do, and it's the same principle if you're using the previous generation, which was called the CC 3.2, which is slightly different, is to place this on the chain at the back of the tool first, so on this notch, and place it between an inner link. So that's an outer link, that's an inner link. This is incorrect because it's on the outer link. So with the outer link, you might be measuring against the plates. The reason why you place it on the inner link is so that this part of the tool is measuring against the internal roller of that link and it's not measuring against the plates. So we place it on this inner link here, and then as per the instructions on the tool, you pinch at the back and then let it drop and rest here. Now, as you can see, this chain, being pretty new and also it's waxed, I've taken care of it, has minimal wear on it. It's as new. Whereas you can see that according to the markings on the tool, if it drops in halfway onto the notch, it's at 0.5 wear. And if it goes all the way to the top of this notch here, so such as this, if it was in like that, that would be 0.75 wear, and that chain would need replacing. To use the CC2, it's the similar kind of thing. You just place it on your chain between two inner links like that, and then you move this sliding piece along until you feel resistance to see how much chain wear there is. In this case, again, it's less than 0.25% wear, which is what you find on a new chain. Of these two chain checking devices, you can use whichever you like, but my personal recommendation would be for this one. Independent testing has shown that this has a high degree of machine tolerance and accuracy. So at what percentage wear do you need to replace your chain? Well, this is really important, and I feel a lot of people don't know this. It depends on the type of gears that you have. So on older drivetrains, I'm talking 10 speed and less, so that's 10 gears on the cassette, you need to replace your chain at 0.75% wear. And so you will find on older chain checking devices and designs, like the CC2 and also the CC3.2 from Park Tool, you'll see that they are graduated and gauged to go from typically 0.75 to 1% wear. Now that is for that reason, whereas on more modern group sets, I'm talking 11 and 12 speed, there you're looking at 0.5% wear. When those chains reach 0.5% wear, you need to change them. On single speed drivetrains, or fixed drivetrains or track bikes, you're looking at 1% wear is the point at which you should change those chains. Now, if you have an 11 or 12 speed drivetrain and your chain has reached 0.75% wear, unfortunately at that point, it's likely that your cassette has been damaged by the chain and worn prematurely and will also need replacing. And so it's for that reason that you really want to keep on top of it and be replacing your chains at 0.5. Well, how can you make your chain last longer? It's quite simple, simply by staying on top of maintenance, regularly cleaning it and degreasing it and applying fresh lube will make it last considerably longer. And this is because what happens when your chain gets dirty and you apply wet lube, it attracts dirt, which then creates a grinding paste which just abrades and wears away at the links and rollers in your chain, prematurely wearing it. We've also found that in our experience, waxing chains, and we bang on about waxing chains all the time, makes them last way longer. I'm talking, I get like 4 to 5 times as much life out of a chain when I use a hot melt wax. And that's because the waxing just doesn't attract as much dirt to the chain surface, which doesn't cause that grinding paste to anywhere near the same degree, which just causes your chain just to last way longer, saving you loads of money in the long run. And as an example, this chain on this bike has done around 4,000 kilometers and it's still at minimal wear, which I think tells you everything you need to know. But you're probably thinking, waxing, that's quite difficult to do. Well, fear not. I've done a video on how to wax and degrease a chain in one simple, easy step, and you can watch that video somewhere on screen now. I'm gonna go now. Love you, bye.